The return of the silent guardian. The vastness of space held countless secrets, but none quite as haunting as the one that emerged from the Cygnus void on March 15, 2187. Deep Space Monitoring Station Kepler-7 floated at the edge of human-controlled space, its array of sensors pointed toward the unknown. Inside the dimly lit control room, Lieutenant Sarah Martinez struggled to stay awake during another uneventful night shift. The usual background noise of cosmic radiation filled her headphones until a sharp, distinct signal pierced through the static. Sarah's coffee mug froze halfway to her lips. Her screen displayed an emergency beacon, one that hadn't been active for 75 years. The identification code made her heart skip. ESV Unity, Generation Ship Class, launched in 2112 with 10,000 colonists bound for Proxima Centauri. "This can't be right," she muttered, running diagnostic after diagnostic. But the signal remained strong and clear, originating from a sector that had been thoroughly searched decades ago. The Unity had vanished without a trace during its third year of travel, becoming one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Within hours, Earth Command scrambled the fastest rescue vessel available. The Pioneer, a state-of-the-art exploration ship, launched with a crew of 30 specialists, led by Commander James Hawthorne. Their orders were simple: investigate, document, and if possible, recover. The 2-week journey to the signal source felt endless. When they finally dropped out of hyperspace, the sight that greeted them defied explanation. The Unity hung motionless in space, its massive hull gleaming as if freshly polished. No debris, no damage, no signs of the catastrophic event everyone had assumed caused its disappearance. "Scan report," Hawthorne ordered, unable to tear his eyes from the viewport. "Sir, the ship appears pristine," reported Science Officer Dr. Elena Kovac. "Power levels are stable, life support functional. But there's something else. Unknown energy signatures throughout the vessel." The boarding team consisted of 6 members: Hawthorne, Kovac, Chief Engineer Marcus Wong, Medical Officer Dr. Amari Thompson, Security Chief Lieutenant Cole, and Communications Specialist Rebecca Chen. They approached in a small shuttle, magnetic boots ready for zero-gravity conditions. The airlock cycled open with surprising ease. Inside, they found corridors bathed in soft blue light, gravity functioning perfectly. Everything looked exactly as it should, except for the absence of people. Temperature 21 degrees Celsius, oxygen levels optimal, Wong reported. "It's like they just stepped out for lunch." They moved deeper into the ship, passing recreation areas where chess pieces floated mid-game, cafeterias with half-eaten meals preserved in time. But as they ventured further, they encountered the first signs of change. Crystalline structures grew from the walls like geometric flowers, pulsing with inner light. They seemed to respond to the team's presence, brightening as they approached. Dr. Kovac scanned them repeatedly, each reading more confusing than the last. "These aren't in any material database," she said, voice trembling with excitement and fear. "The molecular structure is impossible by our understanding of physics." The crystals weren't the only anomaly. Sections of the ship had been transformed, metal surfaces flowing like liquid before solidifying into new configurations. Door mechanisms had been replaced with seamless portals that opened at their approach. The deeper they went, the more alien the environment became. In what should have been the hydroponics bay, they found something extraordinary. Rows of transparent pods lined the walls, each containing a crew member suspended in a shimmering field. Unlike conventional stasis, these people showed no signs of aging or cellular degradation. "Their vital signs are perfect," Dr. Thompson whispered, studying her medical scanner. "Brain activity is... Wait, this can't be right. Their neural patterns show continuous activity, but not like normal sleep. It's structured, organized, like they're connected to something." At the center of the chamber stood a larger pod, more ornate than the others. Inside floated Captain Maya Chen, the Unity's commanding officer. Her face was peaceful, but strange symbols glowed beneath her skin, forming intricate patterns that shifted like living tattoos. Hawthorne reached out to touch the pod's surface. The moment his gloved hand made contact, every crystal in the ship flared with blinding intensity. A deep harmonic tone resonated through the hull, growing louder and more complex. "Commander, energy are spiking across all decks," Wong shouted over the noise. "Something's waking up." The pod containing Captain Chen began to open, releasing a cloud of luminescent particles. Her eyes snapped open, glowing with the same blue light as the crystals. When she spoke, her voice carried harmonics that seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. "They're coming," she said. "The architects, they never left." The ship shuddered as ancient systems, dormant for decades, roared to life. Holographic displays materialized in midair, showing star charts and data streams in languages that hurt to look at. The boarding team backed away as more pods began to activate. "Pioneer, we need immediate extraction," Hawthorne called into his comm. But only static answered. The Unity's awakening systems were interfering with their communications. Captain Chen stepped from her pod, moving with fluid grace that seemed almost inhuman. The symbols on her skin pulsed in rhythm with the ship's energy surges. "You shouldn't have come," she said, her voice now clearly audible but still carrying those strange harmonics. The gift wasn't ready. Humanity wasn't ready. Before anyone could respond, the ship's internal defenses activated. Walls shifted, sealing off corridors. Geometric patterns of light swept through the air, scanning everything they touched. The rescue team found themselves trapped in an alien maze that was once a human vessel. "What happened here?" Hawthorne demanded. "What did you find out there?" Chen's expression was both sorrowful and transcendent. "We found the answer to the greatest question. We are not alone." And now, after 75 years of preparation, the Unity is about to complete its true mission. The ship's engines, silent for decades, began to hum with power unlike anything in human technology. The rescue team realized with growing horror that they might not be rescuing anyone. They might have just triggered something beyond their comprehension. As alarms blared and reality itself seemed to warp around them, one thing became clear: the Unity hadn't been lost. It had been transformed. And whatever had changed it was about to change humanity forever. Whispers of the unknown. Captain Maya Chen stood before them, her transformed body radiating an otherworldly presence. The rescue team watched in stunned silence as memories flickered across her eyes like distant stars. 75 years, she whispered, touching her face as if discovering it anew. "For you, for us it was different." Dr. Kovac stepped forward, scientific curiosity overriding her fear. "Captain Chen, what happened to the Unity? Where have you been?" Chen's gaze focused, becoming more human. "We were 3 years into our journey when we detected it, a structure floating in deep space, older than Earth itself. Massive beyond comprehension. We thought it was derelict." The ship trembled as more systems activated. Holographic displays showed images of a vast crystalline construct, its geometry defying human understanding. The rescue team gasped collectively. "We approached for scientific study," Chen continued. "That's when they found us. The architects. Not aliens as we imagined. Something far more ancient, more advanced. They exist partially outside our dimension, experiencing time differently." Commander Hawthorne interrupted. "They attacked you." "No," Chen smiled sadly. "They saved us. Our ship was failing. Microfractures in the hull, radiation leaks we hadn't detected. We would have died within months. The architects offered a choice: perish in the void or accept their gift." The crystalline structures throughout the ship pulsed rhythmically, responding to Chen's words. Dr. Thompson monitored her medical scanner, watching in amazement as Chen's vital signs fluctuated between human normal and something entirely other. "They began changing the ship," Chen explained, leading them through corridors that shifted and reformed. "Living metal," they called it. "Self-repairing, adaptive, intelligent. but it required integration with organic minds to function properly. They entered what was once the engineering section. Instead of familiar machinery, they found flowing metallic surfaces that moved like mercury, forming and reforming complex patterns. Dozens of small drones, unlike anything in human technology, flitted about performing repairs and modifications. Chief Engineer Wong approached one of the drones. It paused, regarding him with sensors that seemed almost curious. "This is incredible," he breathed. "The efficiency, the design, it's centuries beyond us." "More like millennia," Chen corrected. "The architects seeded life across the galaxy eons ago. They've been watching, waiting for species to reach a certain level of development. We were their first human contact." Dr. Kovac connected her tablet to one of the wall interfaces. Streams of data flooded her screen. Mathematical concepts, physical laws, technological blueprints that made their most advanced theories look primitive. This changes everything we know about physics," she stammered. "Faster than light travel without temporal displacement, energy generation from quantum foam, matter transformation at the atomic level." Suddenly, the ship lurched. Warning symbols flashed across the alien displays. Chen's expression turned grave. "The integration isn't complete," she said urgently. "Your arrival triggered the final phase prematurely. The ship's defense mechanisms are activating." Security Chief Cole raised his weapon instinctively as corridors began sealing themselves with crystalline barriers. "Defense against what?" "Against contamination. Biological and ideological," Chen replied. "The architects learned the hard way that advanced technology in unprepared hands leads to extinction. The Unity was being prepared as humanity's first embassy to the galactic community, but we needed time to adapt, to understand." The rescue team found themselves herded toward the ship's core by the shifting architecture. There, suspended in a chamber of pure light, floated a sphere of impossible complexity, the heart of the architect technology. "Behold the Nexus," Chen announced, "a quantum consciousness interface. Through it, the architects share knowledge across species, across galaxies. But activating it now, before humanity is ready, could destroy us," Hawthorne finished grimly. Chen nodded. "Or elevate us. The architects took a chance on humanity because they saw something in us. Creativity, adaptability, the capacity for both logic and intuition. But the choice was meant to be gradual, careful." Rebecca Chen, the communications specialist and Maya's descendant, stepped forward. "Grandmother," she asked hesitantly, "is it really you?" Maya Chen's expression softened. "Rebecca. Little Becca." She reached out, and for a moment, the alien presence faded, leaving only human warmth. "You've grown so much. I've watched through the Nexus, seen humanity advance. You're closer to ready than we were, but still." Their reunion was interrupted by a ship-wide alert. The Pioneer, still docked with the Unity, reported massive energy buildup in surrounding space. Something was coming through, something drawn by the premature activation. "Architect Sentinels," Maya explained, her voice tight with concern. "Automated guardians designed to prevent unauthorized access to their technology. They'll sterilize this entire sector rather than risk contamination." Dr. Kovac worked furiously at her interface. "I'm detecting a countdown sequence. The Unity is preparing to jump, but not through normal space. This is something else entirely." "Trans-dimensional shift," Maya confirmed. "The ship will fold space-time, emerging at the architect homeworld. But in its current state, the probability of successful transition is only 34%. The team faced an impossible choice: attempt to escape and leave humanity's greatest discovery behind, or risk everything to complete the integration and claim their place among the stars. Hawthorne looked at his team, seeing the same determination in their eyes that had driven humanity to explore, to discover, to reach beyond their grasp. "How do we help?" he asked simply. Maya smiled, and for the first time, it reached her glowing eyes. "We complete the integration. Together. But understand, there's no going back. You'll be changed as I was. As we all were. One by one, the rescue team stepped forward. Dr. Kovac first, driven by scientific curiosity. Wong next, eager to understand the impossible engineering. Thompson, Cole, and finally Rebecca Chen, standing beside her transformed grandmother. Initialize integration sequence, Maya commanded. The nexus flared with brilliant light. Each team member felt their consciousness expand, touching something vast and ancient. Knowledge flooded their minds, languages, technologies, histories of civilizations long dead, and yet unborn. As the Architect Sentinels materialized in local space, the Unity prepared for its greatest journey. The rescue team, now something more than human, worked in perfect synchronization with the ship's systems. Trans-dimensional jump in 3, 2, 1. Reality twisted, and the Unity vanished from known space, carrying humanity's first ambassadors toward a destiny among the stars. The gift of the ancients. The Unity emerged from trans-dimensional space above a world that defied description. Crystalline spires reached into a violet sky, while geometric patterns of light danced across continents that seemed to shift and flow like living things. Commander Hawthorne, his consciousness now expanded by the integration, understood instantly the Architect homeworld. He breathed, or rather, one facet of it. They exist across multiple dimensions simultaneously. The rescue team, transformed by their connection to the Nexus, worked in perfect harmony with the Unity systems. Their minds operated on levels that would have been incomprehensible hours ago. Dr. Kovac manipulated equations that governed reality itself, while Wong communicated directly with the living metal that composed the ship. Maya Chen stood at the center of the bridge, her form fluctuating between human and something more ethereal. "The Sentinels have followed us," she announced. "But here, in Architect space, different rules apply." Through their enhanced perception, the team witnessed the approaching Sentinels transform from weapons of destruction into escorts of honor. The Unity was recognized, accepted, welcomed. A presence touched their collective consciousness, vast, ancient, curious. The Architects themselves were reaching out. Chichail Duran of Earth, the thought resonated through every mind aboard. UARIVEARLI here, then anti-PADD. Yet not it ill unprepared. Images flooded their awareness. The Architect's grand experiment spanning billions of years, seeding life across galaxies, nurturing species toward consciousness, watching most fail, celebrating the few who succeeded. Humanity possesses rare equalities. The presence continued. Creativity born of illimitation. Compassion. Despite competition, the will to explore despite FER. Rebecca Chen, her mind now linked with her grandmother's across 75 years of separation, asked the crucial question, why us? Why now? The answer came not in words but in understanding. The galaxy faced a crisis, a wave of destruction spreading from the core, consuming civilizations. The Architects needed allies, species capable of thinking beyond their own paradigms. The gift we OFFER is not mere technology. They explained, it is PRSPKTI, connection. The ability to bridge DIFFAR in seas. Dr. Thompson, monitoring the biological changes in the crew, made a startling discovery. The transformation isn't just enhancing us. It's creating something new. We're becoming translators, interfaces between human and Architect, between dimension and dimension. The Unity systems completed their final evolution. What was once a generation ship became a nexus point, a bridge between Earth and the broader cosmos. Through it, humanity could access the galactic community while retaining their essential nature. But Earth isn't ready, Hawthorne protested. The social upheaval, the fear. Readiness is never absolute, the Architects responded. Growth requires risk. You will guide them. Maya Chen understood their role. We're not just explorers anymore. We're teachers, ambassadors. We return to Earth not with mere technology, but with wisdom to use it properly. The team made their decision. They would return to Earth, but gradually, carefully. The Unity would orbit at the edge of the solar system, establishing first contact protocols, preparing humanity for the paradigm shift to come. The choice remains with your species, the architects conveyed. Isolate and stagnate, or join and evolve. As they prepared for the return journey, each team member received a final gift, a quantum crystal containing the essence of architect knowledge, attuned to human consciousness. These would serve as teaching tools, gradually unlocking as humanity proved ready for each new concept. The trans-dimensional jump back to Earth space was smooth, guided by their new understanding. They emerged precisely where they'd departed, but everything had changed. The Pioneer's crew, waiting anxiously, detected their return. Communications opened, and Hawthorne spoke with a voice that carried new harmonics. Pioneer, this is Unity Actual. Mission successful. Preparing to transmit preliminary contact protocols. Humanity has been invited to join something greater. Over the following months, the transformation began. The Unity established a learning center in high orbit, where selected individuals underwent controlled integration. Scientists, philosophers, artists, and leaders experienced expanded consciousness, returning to Earth with new perspectives. Dr. Kovic led the scientific revolution, introducing concepts that revolutionized energy production and space travel. Wang's engineering insights created self-repairing infrastructure and adaptive architecture. Thompson's medical advances eliminated diseases and extended human lifespans. But the most profound change was psychological. Rebecca Chen, working with her grandmother, developed the Universal Empathy Protocol, a method for humans to truly understand other perspectives, other species, other ways of being. Not everyone welcomed the changes. Fear of the unknown sparked resistance movements. Some nations attempted to weaponize the new technology. But the integrated humans, now called bridges, worked tirelessly to guide humanity through the transition. 5 years after the Unity's return, Earth took its first steps into the galactic community. A delegation of bridges, led by Maya and Rebecca Chen, attended the Conclave of Species, a gathering of civilizations from across the galaxy. Humanity brought something unique to the cosmic table: their art, their music, their stories. The very creativity born from their limitations proved invaluable in finding solutions to galactic challenges. The crisis the architects had foreseen, the wave of destruction from the galactic core, was met not with force but with innovation. Human creativity, combined with architect technology and the wisdom of other species, found a way to transform the destructive energy into a force for renewal. As decades passed, Earth became known as the Bridge World, a place where species met to resolve differences and share perspectives. The Unity, now one of many transformed vessels, carried human explorers and diplomats throughout the galaxy. In her final years, Maya Chen returned to Earth one last time. Standing with her great-granddaughter on a hill overlooking a city that seamlessly blended human and alien architecture, she reflected on the journey. "We were lost," she said, "and in being lost, we found our purpose. The architects didn't give us technology, they gave us opportunity. What we did with it, that was our choice." The stars above twinkled with new meaning. Each point of light represented not just a distant sun, but a potential friend, a possible story, a future waiting to be written. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not as conquerors or subjects, but as bridges, connecting worlds, ideas, and possibilities. The gift of the ancients was not power, but perspective. And with that perspective, humanity helped write a new chapter in the galaxy's endless story. The Unity's journey had ended, but humanity's true voyage had just begun.